Oh, I'm Jeremy.
I'm Dawn.
We are live on YouTube to talk about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party because after this year, we'll have been to 7 of them.
Oh, wow.
So we're experts, basically. But I've got graphics for all the treat places, all the everything. So I'm going to talk about all that. This ain't going to be a quick boom, boom, boom type of video. So you might have, if you watch this later, you might need to scroll around a little bit. But so we've been to a good number of parties at this point, and we're going to 2 this year. Last year we went to opening night, which was neat, but it was a scorcher.
In the week of Halloween.
But this year we're going the first week of September, and then a few days before Halloween. So that'll be fun. If you watch this after the fact, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm just curious to know. And also let us know, are you scheduled to go to one of these parties? Because I'd be curious to know that as well. We are team Halloween party over Christmas party, but we go to both.
I enjoy both.
And we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, I'm going to put all these graphics that I'm going to pop up on the screen on probably the Facebook page. I think you'll have to find it under Jeremy Therapy, and I'll also put it in the group that's called Enchanted Magic. So as I pop them up, I will, after we get off here, I'll put them on there so you can look at them. But I just wanted to talk about like times, costumes, food, the whole 9 yards. So let me flip over here, and we'll bring up our first graphic, which is going to talk about what you can wear. Whoa. So adults can dress up for this party, which is not the usual thing. Somebody answered a question that I had earlier, and that was, if you go into the Magic Kingdom before the party starts, like let's say you go in that morning, can you go ahead and wear your costume? And the answer is no, because typically they don't want guests dressing up as anything, because they just don't want to cross the line of people thinking somebody's actually like a princess or something. So here's what Disney put out for the party. For guests ages 13 and under, you can wear some costume masks, but you need to have a good peripheral vision, and that's just because they don't want people tripping, or they don't want people getting on rides and getting disoriented, and they need to be able to see your eyes. For adults, or let's just say a guest 14 years and older, they got to be family friendly. So like nothing super scary. Nothing like super scary. Like you don't walk in with a fake knife or whatever, or blood coming off of your costume, basically. They're not supposed to drag on the ground because they obviously don't want them to get caught. Let's just say you rode the People Mover and you have to get on that ramp. They don't want it to get caught on that. You can have some accessories like Tinkerbell wings or a plastic lightsaber, because obviously Disney owns the Star Wars stuff. Toy swords for like a pirate, and tutus. You can wear themed t-shirts, but obviously no cuss words or anything on them like that. You can wear hats. Things you can't bring in is like weapons or props resembling a weapon. Not like a sword, but like a fake gun or a fake something, like bloody sword or something like that. So, and you got to be careful with the mask, because with the adults, I've seen people take it pretty far and not getting anything said to them, but you just need to be careful. So that is the costume guidelines. And if you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Let's go to what everybody's wondering about, and that is trick or treat locations. Okay. So there's 13 locations this year, and you can get on the My Disney Experience app, and it'll have a map you can click on and see, exactly where they are. But they're going to have it on Main Street, which is where you first walk in and you get your treat bag. I meant to bring one out here, but it'll say every year it's a little different. Last year it had the grave diggers on it. I'm pretty sure this year it'll have the Headless Horseman on it. But as you walk in, they funnel you to the right. There's a DJ. There's usually, last year or two, they've had Cruella de Vil, and then they give you your first treat or two and your bag. And then you end up coming out sort of beside the Plaza restaurant. Other locations over at the Sunshine, I can't say it,
Sunshine.
Tree Terrace, headed toward over in Adventureland. And each of these locations will have a big blow-up orange thing that says candy. Like, you can't miss it.
It's got like an M&M head on it, or Nikki's just up.
The Enchanted Tiki Room will have candy. The Tortuga Tavern will have candy. This will be new, I think. They didn't have this last year, I don't think. But Big Thunder is going to have candy. Harbor House is usually right there somewhere. They're going to have, I think it's there every year. They're going to have it there. Fantasyland is a pretty big...
It's a big one.
...area. They're going to have it in PhilharMagic, which that's normal. In the Princess Fairy Tale Hall, they normally have had some villains and stuff in there. Last year we got to see the Evil Queen and Maleficent as we went through there, so definitely check that one out. Enchanted Tales of the Belle, we've never been through there for treats before. At Dumbo, they're going to have one, and at the railroad station.
Has it always been at? Because I feel like instead of it being at the Tales with Belle, I feel like it was always in Gaston's.
I think you're right. They're going to have it in the laugh floor, and that's sort of a funny one.
That is a funny
Normally, as people walk through, they'll have the monsters on the screen, you know, talking and making fun of people or whatever. And then the infamous treat trail that sort of goes underneath Tron. Last year was a little different. Normally, it has multiple candy stops in it. Last year, I feel like it just had maybe
I think one or two. Yeah.
But we went through there before and really loaded up. Let's talk about, if you got little kids, there's like two ways to look at this. One is if you got little kids and don't think you're going to be able to stay the whole night. And two is otherwise.
Right.
So if you got little kids, I would go ahead and trick or treat early. But you're going to be waiting in a little, not a big line, but a 5-10 minute line. But if you will wait until later, preferably around firework time or after, they're just trying to get rid of candy. So instead of giving you like a small handful, they'll be just, I've had them give me multiple handfuls, double fisted.
Yeah.
And so that also brings me to say, you need to take, if you got a kid, you got a stroller, so take in a big bag in the stroller and dump your small bag into the big bag. This will be our first year without a stroller, so we're going to take our big backpack and we'll be dumping, because the little candy bag they give you, it's small.
Tiny.
So just keep that in mind, because you'll end up, I've posted pictures of it on Instagram before, but you'll end up like with the three of us, we probably have 20 pounds of candy or 30 pounds of candy, and we've actually had to ship it back before because I didn't want to waste it, and then we snacked on it for months.
Yeah.
But you can easily fill up as much as you want, and I would definitely bring something to dump the small bag into, because if you just fill up that small bag, you're not going to get a ton of candy.
And usually at one stop, you'll fill that bag up. Like, you go to 1 or 2 stops and that bag is like overflowing.
Yeah.
So
that's the candy layout. Again, there's a map on My Disney Experience, so you can get on there. Let me take this graphic down. We didn't talk about like the tickets and stuff yet, but the party starts here basically the second week of August, and I think the tickets run about $130. They will gradually get more, and then right there around Halloween, they're almost like $250 or whatever. So if you go earlier, it's cheaper, but you're going to roast. That's the other thing about the costume is we will probably dress up for one of these parties. We never have before, but I don't want it to be something super thick, because you already, even right there at Halloween, it's hot. So most people, I know there's other avenues to go through, like all these places that sell tickets supposedly. We've never used anybody but the Disney website, but I did see a horror story last year, I think it was. You know, some lady bought tickets off of some website. It was one I'd heard of before, and she got to the gate and it didn't scan, and I don't know what had got mixed up, but I had rather, she saved like $5 a ticket or something. I'd rather just deal with Disney, and if there's a problem, they fix it. So that's just my thing. So there's no lightning lanes for the party. When you get there, you can go in as early as 4. The party don't technically start till 7. You can go in at 4, and they're going to scan your ticket on your phone and give you a wristband. That lets everybody know, hey, they're here for the party. And at 6, all the other guests are supposed to be out. So you'll see them at around 6, basically start funneling
Yeah.
people, and they in different lands they'll be like, "Let's see your wristband. Let's see your
They'll-
wristband." Yeah. And so my advice: you got basically 2 to 3 hours there to do something before the party really starts. Go ahead and get your candy bag and do all that, but they're not going to have any of the merch out, none of the popcorn buckets, any of that. So if you're going to eat, I would eat then. If you got rides that don't have a big wait already, go ahead and ride those, because I think what I read was a typical Magic Kingdom day has around 50 to 55,000 people in it, and they're selling between 25 and 30,000 tickets. So it's a lot less
Yeah.
wait time, and there's a lot of people that don't even care about riding rides. They're just there for the party. So we'll talk about rides in a minute, but you can get in at 4, and then they'll make an announcement at 7, the party started. And what has happened in years past is Powerline Max will come out in front of Liberty Tree Tavern in
That's how we
Frontierland, and he'll do his standout dance. And then about 10 minutes before each parade, he'll go down Main Street, but he just goes down Main Street. He don't go anywhere else. So if you want to see him then and there, you got to be on Main Street. So you got to kind of prioritize the big stuff. You want to ride rides. For us, we really like the parade. If you do the parade, there's 2 parade times. Let me bring up another graphic here. Okay. Again, I'll share all this on Facebook. Early entry, you can get in at 4. Before we were annual pass holders, hang on a minute, there's a loud truck coming by. We're outside, obviously.
Or it's a motorcycle.
Before we were annual pass holders, we did get in line about 3:30 or 3:45 one time. And we waited probably 15 minutes or so. My advice would be probably, if you'll wait just like till 4:10, there will be no line at all. They already have funneled all those people in, with one exception. If you have got to meet Jack and Sally, the easiest way to do that is going to be to get in line at like 2:30 or
Yeah.
3, be one of the first few through the gate, and go straight to Jack and Sally. The other thing is what we did last year, basically right in the middle of one of the parades passing, the wait time will drop from sometimes several hours down to maybe 20 minutes, and then you can go then, but you're wasting party time. So if you will, if you really want to meet them, you're going to roast, but like get in line at 2:30, be in that very front of that line. And we seen it last year. People will run.
But yeah, they're running straight there.
But the first, however many people, they're getting to meet them almost right away. So that's the exception. But if you get there about 4:15, all that'll be gone. You can walk right in for the most part. Party starts at 7, stops at around 12. You can read this graphic, but there's 2 parades, one at 8:15, one at 11:15. We did notice early last year, they kind of waited a few extra minutes on the 8:15 one because it was still too bright outside, but that's just the first couple parties. They'll have the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular on the stage in front of the castle at 9:05, 9:35, 12 o'clock. And then, yeah, it's good to see that. Of course, the fireworks will be at 10, and it's a very much less populated firework. I still like to see it from Main Street, but they do not have graphics on the side buildings for this firework thing. So I guess closer to the castle, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people will still leave after those fireworks. So let's say from 10:20, right after the fireworks, until 12 is your prime time to do everything.
Everything.
Candy, meet and greets. There's some photos you can take. I'll show that in a minute. Everything will start dropping. And in that last hour from like 11 to 12, one year, it was a walk-on for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, like straight walk-on.
Hit the rides.
We like to do the later parade. The later parade will be way less busy because all the smaller kids and all have already left.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of get wherever you want to get. And then just keep in mind, Headless Horseman rides 10 minutes before the parade, and he dispatches from where the parade starts in Frontierland. So if you're all the way back, like at the castle, he may end up being like 15 minutes ahead. And then down Main Street, Goofy comes down through there. They got some dancers and stuff just trying to get people hyped up. So there's that schedule. You flip to the food and drink guide. This is a big one this year. I may have to blow this way up.
Way up.
Okay, hopefully y'all can see that. They've announced all sorts of food and drink stuff, and again, these won't come out or be available until the party starts. I've read where people have bought popcorn buckets and stuff a little before the party, but that's not the norm. That is not the norm. So I don't know if you can read all this. You can zoom in or you can go to the Facebook group. But basically, here's a list of all the party-specific stuff. A lot of it's like treats and stuff. Last year, we got some sort of I think it was a Headless Horseman something treat.
Yeah.
And I have not read up a ton on this year's stuff, but it's neat. But don't waste all your time getting treats is my advice.
Definitely not our.
And if you're gonna if you're gonna eat, it's nice to do it before the party starts because you won't waste a lot of time. Because I would hate to pay this much for a party and then sit down at like Be Our Guest and waste almost 2 hours just eating. You know what I mean? That's just me. I know some people might disagree, but look through this and zoom in and again, if you got any questions, just let us know. But at the bottom, it shows you like the Beacon Barrel's open, Be Our Guest is open, Cinderella's Royal Table's open, and the Plaza Restaurant's open. I think they got some ice cream stuff going on. And then there's some quick services open. Don't do what we've done before and forget to plan to eat at all, because that has happened multiple years.
Yes.
You just get so involved in everything, and then it's like 10 or 11, and you're like, oh crap, we're about to starve, and what are we going to eat? So that's that graphic. Let me bring it back down. Okay. We've talked about costumes. We've talked about trick-or-treating. Let's talk about merchandise. At 7 o'clock, usually they'll have the area blocked off in like the Emporium. At 7 o'clock, they'll unblock it, and it'll be the party-specific pins and T-shirts and all that sort of thing. I like to say that they keep the stores and the confectionery open an hour after the park closes. So if technically the party's over at 12, they'll be there till at least 1. I like to save that sort of thing until we're walking out, but a lot of other people do too. So it might be another one like do it early or do it during a first parade or something, and then you'll you won't be fighting everybody or they won't run out of stuff for that night. But they'll have spirit jerseys, they'll have lounge flies. The Emporium is the place with the most stuff by far. The Magic Kingdom does shut down at 6 p.m. So like if you got a regular day ticket that day, they're going to get you out.
Yeah.
But it is less crowds that day because most of the ordinary folk without annual passes it only makes sense to not go to Magic Kingdom because you're going to have to leave early. So it'll be way less crowds all day. So keep that in mind. But it does sometimes open a little earlier.
Yeah. And I think we've answered this one. It says, what time can you enter? 4 o'clock. And then the party starts at 7. That was our next question. And I think you've already answered this one too. What time does it end? Is at midnight.
And the way we plan it is the last stage show is at midnight. Mm-hmm. So we'll watch it normally as our last thing, and it lasts whatever, 15 minutes or so. Tons of people have already left, and then you can shop around a little bit and let everybody kind of get out of there.
Yeah. Is it worth the money? If you're a Halloween fan, or honestly, you don't really have to be a Halloween fan. I would say yes.
Well, and on our last trip, we even paid for the after-hours party at Hollywood Studios, non-themed, and basically spent the exact same amount as we are on this Halloween party. But this thing, we're going to get free candy and all this other stuff, so.
Yes, I think it is worth it. Can adults wear costumes? We have answered that. Yes, you can. Just make sure you stick with the Disney guidelines. Is trick-or-treating included? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would not, unless you just got small children and you're worried they're going to bail early, wait a little while before you trick or treat. Cause again, it won't be a huge line, but you'll wait 10 or 15 minutes. Whereas if you'll wait till, even if you'll just wait till like 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
there will be no line whatsoever. You just walk through, and we've walked through them multiple times. Sometimes, like just you can get.
And that's what I was gonna say. You can just keep going through that same one if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, do they have allergy friendly treats? They do.
Here's how that works. You tell them.
Oh, I was just gonna say you get is it a token?
I think.
I
So.
think whenever you go through the line, and if I'm not, no, their bags are the same. I was gonna say I thought their bags were different, but you'll get a token, and then you have to take it to.
I think last year it was up towards City Hall.
Yeah, I was say it was somewhere up to the front, and you go in and you take those tokens, and they give you like allergy friendly. We don't have any allergies, so I really don't exactly know what's all included in there. But they'll give you allergy friendly treats. So yes, if you do have allergies, you can still participate and you still get things. Do you need a bag? I think we may have touched on that too. Disney does provide you with a small bag, but
You keep talking. I'm gonna go get one.
okay. They will provide you with a small bag, but we have learned after, it may have been before our first trip, that you need to take another bag because because our first trip, what we were doing is we were using Disney bags, like when you would buy stuff. We just had one of those bags and we just kept dumping it into one of the bags. Like when we purchased something, we just dumped it inside there. That was our first year.
This is not last year. This is a couple of years ago, but I mean it's an okay sized bag, but
But for the amount of candy that you get, it's not. It's
basically 2 stations would fill that up.
So definitely bring you, especially if you've got more than, like we were a family of 3. So especially if you have more than just the one person, you're getting your candy times 3. Oh, can you bring a larger bag? Yes. Is Boo to You parade worth it? Absolutely.
I would miss fireworks over that parade.
Me too.
And here's a tip: if you don't watch the live streamers, because they do this all the time, but you can actually watch that parade from Frontierland near where it starts, cut through Adventureland, and see it a second time each time if you go up towards like the end of the Emporium. Now, I'm not saying to do that, but you can if you really enjoy it. But we like seeing the Headless Horseman. We
Yes.
like seeing the whole thing. The song is catchy, and I think 3 years ago this year they added Ursula to the parade. So I'm wondering if anything will change. We'll see.
Yep. And that's the thing too. Like they also bring out like during the parade and other places that they bring characters out that they don't normally bring out all the time. So I think that's worth it. Does the Headless Horseman appear? Most of the time, weather permitted.
Yeah, and I have noticed even if it's not raining, but it has rained, they usually won't bring out the horse because he'll slip. So just weather permitting.
Do you recommend first or second parade? Our opinion, I guess it depends on your time, but our opinion, we always recommend the second.
Unless you got very small
Yeah.
kids. I don't know if it's on there, but parade location can matter
Oh yeah.
some. Part of me likes it in Frontierland because it just says stepped off. Everybody's going to pile around the castles. That's going to be the most populated point. But if you'll go to the end of Main Street, it won't be quite as bad. So
We've noticed that even when we go to the Christmas thing, if you go at the end of Main Street, right when it goes around the corner, it's always a really, really good spot to be able to see everything because there's not a lot of people down in that way. When should you line up for the parade? Let's say probably 45 minutes to an hour or so before.
yeah, especially if you want a
The
decent, the first one. If you want a decent spot, I'd say that. For the second one, you can get by probably with 15 or 20 minutes. And fireworks, if you're fine with being on the middle of Main Street, about halfway back, you can walk up to those things 5 minutes beforehand. Now, if you want to be in front of the castle, you're going to wait. You might as well line up an hour early. But I wouldn't waste my time now when you can see the same thing from just a little further back.
Are fireworks included? Yes. Yes, they are. And it is a very good fireworks show too. Are fireworks, do they have fireworks for every party? Yes. I was gonna say, wait, but they do have it for every party. Can weather affect shows? It can.
They will have you sign a thing or whatever when you buy the tickets. It basically says, and I don't blame them. Weather can affect it. They're not responsible. But we did see last year on the very few times where it rained like the entire party, they would offer people a second date. If you wouldn't talk to them. So that probably happens once or twice a year. But I wouldn't, don't go in expecting that, but it could happen.
Yeah. Are rides opened? Most attractions are. I'm trying to think of some rides that they close during the parties. But most rides are going.
Yeah, for this.
Do you think of anything that?
No, for this, they keep everything
Okay. I think we've already talked about the Halloween ride layovers. They have the Space Mountain, Mad Tea, the teacups, and
Laugh floor.
Oh yeah, the laugh floor. Are wait time shorter? Yes.
So what'll happen, and this is a little weird, but like at 6 o'clock, they'll cut off the wait times on the app for 1 hour because they don't want the people that are already in the park to really try to be getting on stuff, I guess. And every year I'm like, dang, I can't see the wait times, but that's why. So, if you're a regular guest, day guest, and let's say you get in line for Tron at 6, they don't make you leave. They can still ride Tron, and they might be in there for another hour.
Yeah.
But those last few guests, they will literally walk out of the park, to get them out of there. So they give us an hour for everybody to get out. Then they'll fire back up the wait times. And at the beginning of the party, it'll be a little bit shorter. But the later you go, and if you don't care, I definitely would see the fireworks. But if you don't care about fireworks, or my suggestion is that first parade, everybody will be there at that first parade, and all the wait times will be nothing. So
that's usually how we do it. We'll jump on all those rides during that first parade because we like to go to the second. And when it's darker too.
Yeah.
Like I like it when it's dark. Do you need lightning lanes?
They don't sell them at the party. If you're there before the party, you could buy them technically, and they would be bookable up until 6. But for the party, no lanes.
Are the restaurants opened?
A few, I think we named them earlier. Be Our Guest, Cinderella's Royal Table. I think Tony's is open.
Yeah, Tony.
I think. And several of the quick services are open, but then like the Harbor House is closed because that's where they're giving out the candy. So a couple of them are closed, a couple of them are open. That sort of thing.
We've talked about the exclusive food, the exclusive merchandise. Does merchandise typically sell out?
I've seen it like on a particular night, they just run out for that night.
But they always restock it.
Yeah, at some point. But so, the only problem doing what we do and waiting sort of later to get your merch is it'll look like a dang flock of chickens have been in there and went through it.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was looking for a pin last year, and there were pins just scattered everywhere in this little bin because people just went through them and slung them back down or whatever. So it ain't that big a deal, but
Buy merch before 7.
Mostly no. There are a few cases I've seen it, or I've heard it mentioned. The popcorn bucket occasionally you can get, which is the Headless Horseman this year.
Mm-hmm.
That you can get a little early, but they're not going to sell it to anybody that don't have a wristband on. So you can ask, but probably not.
Probably not. Photo Pass, is it available for the party?
It is, and there's a couple. I thought I'd made a graphic, but I don't think I did. There's a couple special ones. There's a Tinkerbell one where you're holding Tinkerbell. Mm-hmm. There's a Headless Horseman one with like a big cutout you get in front of.
Yeah.
There's one in Adventureland that I can't think of. And I think there's one back toward the Little Mermaid that I can't think of. And then there's back at Little Mermaid, there's also a spotlight that says Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they got a Photo Pass person there, but it's a neat cell phone picture.
And they have had, I don't know if it was for the Halloween or the Christmas where they did the light thing behind you. That was a really cool PhotoPass thing that they did like some sort of design thing with a light. That was really neat. We did that one year too. Rare characters.
Powerline.
Yes. Seven Dwarfs or the yeah.
One year they didn't even announce it, and the Seven Dwarfs were there to take pictures.
We just happened to stumble upon
back
them.
there at Storybook, and we got our picture with all seven, and they said that was like very rare.
Yeah.
I really loved it. I've never seen him at Magic Kingdom, but Dumbo is like my number one.
Mine too.
But I mean, they'll be in that dance party at Cosmic Rays. There's a bunch of random characters. Last year, Judy and Nick was over in Tomorrowland at the dance party, and they wouldn't set up for like a specific photo,
They just dance with the kids.
but they dance with you, and you can take a picture with them. So there'll be random stuff. That one treat trail through the Princess Hall, like they had the villain, they had Maleficent and the Evil Queen standing up high on the
Yeah.
platform, but you could turn and like take a selfie with them behind you, and they would pose and
and
stuff.
they're interacting.
Yeah.
Also, one of my favorite ones that he's there. I'm pretty sure he's there all the time is Gaston. He is there for the Halloween. He used to be there all the time, but I think
I'm pretty sure Ariel and Eric are together and take pictures in front of her ride. I've seen.
yes,
them
I've
before.
seen that. Yes, I have seen them. And then let's see. What would you say would be the longest character wait? Definitely
Yeah.
Jack and Sally.
So Mickey and Minnie meet together. All this happens in the town square up there at Tony's. Mickey and Minnie will be in their Halloween outfit, and they'll meet together, and that's a great picture.
Yeah.
And it'll back up a little bit. I'm going to say 30, 45 minutes sometimes. But Jack and Sally, they'll back up that sometimes. It's been like 4 hours. That's why I say either if you've got to have that picture, get there at like 2:30 and be in the front of the line and run straight in the gates and hang a right, and you're there. Or last year for the first parade, wasn't it the first? I'm pretty sure the
Yeah.
first parade, we stood right in front of that place, and I was like,
We just kept an eye on it.
the parade got to us, and of course everybody's out there looking at parade, and it dropped down to like 20 minutes, and we bolted in there. It ended up being more than 20, but we had never met them in that many parties, and like they were pretty high up on my list, but they're not so high up that I want to waste 2 hours of this 6-hour party or whatever it is
Yeah.
to go meet them. So we got to meet them, and I thought that was cool.
And that's our thing. Like we met them and now we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Would you prioritize rides or characters? Honestly, I really think it just depends on the person. I don't even know if we've done a party where this maybe last year, we may have prioritized a little bit more characters than we normally do.
The first years I really pushed the rides, and
yeah.
we would ride like everything and still see the parade and stuff, but we'd miss out on other things. But yeah, it's just according to what you want to see or do.
Yeah. Biggest mistake.
Waiting in line for food.
Yeah.
Um,
Or going in thinking that you're going to be able to do it all
yeah,
because
we have almost done it all, but that was after going to several and really planning out a plan of attack. But it's fun and it's not fun because the schedule always gets off, and then you're like, dang it, now what do we got to exclude? So yeah, I wouldn't go in. It's probably more fun just going in with a loose idea of what you want to do and just rolling with the flow.
sorry, there's a cat attacking my foot. And I think we may have already touched on this, but what would be the best strategy?
I'd go in at 4. I would ride anything you want to ride with a low weight between 4 and 6, which would like People Mover. This stuff, if you don't want to ride it, don't ride it. But People Mover, Pirates, maybe Big Thunder, whatever you can get on. And then if you're going to eat and you're going to sit down and eat, probably go ahead and do it like at 5 or 5:30. That way that's out of the way. I'm not saying you can't get these treats later that are party themed, because that won't take long. But I wouldn't want to sit down and waste 30 minutes even, or an hour during the actual party. And then, like with Jack and Sally, if they're like top of your list, by all means, do
Yeah.
what you got to do to meet them. But otherwise, don't waste 2 or 3 hours just standing in that line, you know. And if you got to meet them, do one of those 2 things I said, and either be sitting there at 2:30 waiting, or just plan on like probably the last. It would change the strategy, but probably the last parade right in the middle of it, you're gonna have the fewest people.
Yeah.
And then they'll randomly just cut the line off somewhere around 11 something. So be careful.
Yeah.
Don't
You'll miss it.
yeah, don't let them cut it off and not get to them if that's a big thing.
If you have to leave, can you re-enter?
Yeah,
Anytime.
you just show them. Oh, it's on your Magic Band. If you got
Yeah.
Magic Band, you just do that or show them your phone or whatever.
Is parking included?
No, if you don't have a pass, like an annual pass, and you're gonna park, it's gonna be like $35. But if you're staying at a Disney resort, you're good, or you can just ride in on their stuff. So there's iffy things to that. Or I've heard if you show up later, I've heard the parking attendant people leave at like 6 or 7, so you might get the park. But who's gonna want to show up
Right.
2 or 3 hours late?
Is alcohol served?
It is.
It is. Is the party scary?
No. No.
Not at all. It is definitely a family-friendly event. Is it good for toddlers? Yes. And for teens. There's stuff to do for all ages.
Yeah.
Is it worth going without kids?
Yeah.
We've never done it, but yes. Yes, we think it would be.
Well, and it's like vastly different from like Halloween Horror Nights. Well, first of all, kids are not even supposed to go to Halloween Horror Nights, but you go there knowing you're going to go in these houses and get the crap scared out of you. This is nothing like that.
Nothing like
This is like fun Mickey Mouse stuff and get candy and
Yes.
go home and that sort of thing.
Which dates sell out first?
As of the making of this video, they've already sold out the very first date. They've sold out the date we picked, which is September the 4th. And there's like 2 other dates sold out, but usually the first date or 2 sells out. I think it's because they're cheaper.
Well, that and there's content creators there.
Yeah. And then usually right around Halloween will sell out pretty quick because people like going on Halloween or right there at Halloween. So
No, this isn't one of our questions, but do you recommend going on actual Halloween?
maybe it's according to your trip plans. For us, I'm not going to say don't go for Halloween, but for us, we go the party before Halloween, because on actual Halloween, if you're staying at a Disney resort, they have a big bag. They give away candy, every one of them. I don't care if you're an All-Star or if you're at Grand Floridian. What's going on, Patriotism USA? Anywhere you stay on Halloween, they're going to have a big Halloween candy giveaway thing.
Yeah.
We've done it at Riverside. We've done it at the All-Stars. We've done it, I don't even remember where all, but we like doing the party like the date before Halloween, and then Halloween we can do stuff at the hotel. And I don't think we've ever been in a park other than Magic Kingdom like Halloween night, but I would imagine they probably do a little bit of stuff. You know, I mean, nothing major,
sure,
but
yeah.
something. But I just like being at the resort and doing their treat trail. Last year we were at All-Star Sports. In the entire football field, they had a DJ out, more candy than you could imagine. It was just like wild. So
Yeah. Do you recommend buying your tickets early?
yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would.
I think the Halloween ones they release in like March or something, and usually I don't buy them like the day they come out, but I'll buy them that first month or 2, you know, just to make sure we don't miss out or whatever.
Or we get the week that we're actually wanting.
So
What are other entertainment things that we have not talked about already?
well,
Is-
usually they have a band called the Rusty Cutlass, and there's been no mention of them this year, which I like that band a lot, but there's mention of Jack Sparrow doing something in that Tortuga Tavern area. So I'm wondering if they hadn't replaced the band with a character meet and greet.
Mm.
And I did some research. I was telling somebody I did some research. The band is not a Disney band. They're actually their own band, and Disney hires them. and they go to like the villages and all that and do they post on their Facebook group.
They're really good though.
They are really
Really good. I think we stood over there last year for like 20, 25 minutes just listening to them because they were.
So I hope they're back, but there's been no mention of them so far. I just think maybe it's one of those things where Disney said we can cut this cost because it's not one of our own in-house things, but they've been there forever. So I mean, I hate it if they didn't.
Yeah. We've already talked about this, but how much candy potentially get several pounds. There's been multiple years where we've had to ship ours back home because it's way too, and we fly. So it's.
I took a 18 by 18 by 18 box one time and we filled it slap up and I just pre-printed a label and took with us and they shipped it from the hotel. But now we've got to where we can basically designate one carry-on luggage as our candy thing because we didn't know if TSA would care about candy or they didn't care. So,
how many rides do you think you would be able to fit into your party night if you were a strategy person like my husband is?
Like if I was planning this thing out, I'd be in there at 4. I'd get my candy bag. I'd go ride People Mover. I would go ride The Little Mermaid, Small World,
Maybe
Pirates. That's going to put you all over 6 or a little after. I'd see Powerline come out at 6, let him do his boogie.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would go, I think, you put you at about 6:30 or a little after. I'd see the Cadaver Dans right after that because they come out immediately after Powerline. Then at 7, all the regular guests are gone. So then you can hit like the lower tier rides without a wait. So you could probably go ahead and go get on Winnie the Pooh, the Teacups.
You already said the Dumbo and all that stuff.
You could probably go ahead and hit Dumbo and Barnstormer. Let that first parade start. I'd run over to Haunted Mansion and see the Ghosts in the Graveyard, ride it. Then according to where that puts you, either hit one more ride or go ahead and get there for fireworks. And then immediately after fireworks, I would probably hit like Space Mountain. Then I would see that second parade, and I would try my best to run from the second parade to something like Seven Dwarves or Tron or like a big ride that's going to normally have a major wait. You know what I mean? You could probably fit Tiana's or Big Thunder somewhere around that first parade without a huge wait. But that would basically be me doing all the rides and just trying to grab a character meet and greet if I were to happen to walk by them and there not be a huge line. And the same thing with candy. I would just grab candy as I was going to the rides, but that would be with a huge focus just on rides. So, and if you didn't care about fireworks, then that's a major time you can get on stuff. We messed up. I messed up one year because between the early parties and then when the time starts backing up, they'll do a small shift. And I had read like an earlier or later time for fireworks, and we got on Pirates one year.
Oh, yeah.
And we heard boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh crap, the fireworks are going. So we like ran out of Pirates when we got off and caught like the very end of them or something. But
you want to do the last one? Yeah, I got a sister child. Yeah.
Oh, number one tip is probably don't spend all your time waiting in a line that don't really matter, like for food. And I'm not saying don't do some of the food. I'm just saying like don't if you're going to have to sit down and waste an hour and a half of this already short party, I wouldn't really advise it unless you just really don't care about anything. You know what I mean? Like you could walk in there and just want to get a little bit of candy, sit down and eat, maybe see the parade and the fireworks, but I would not I wouldn't waste a whole lot of time on any one thing. One must-do thing, it would be, somebody said, what's the one must-do thing? The parade. For me, I think Dawn would agree, but I would prioritize that parade over the fireworks, even though I love fireworks. And not only the fireworks, but the stage show is right behind those. But you can see a stage show at midnight, so the park's closed, and you could even be getting off a ride and walk up to the stage show a little late. You know what I mean? Like 5 or 10 minutes late and get to see most of it. So we've done that before. But I would just not waste a lot of time on any one item if you can avoid it. Even waiting for fireworks in the parade, even if it's the first parade, just try to find you a spot. Because if you have to line up an hour early, then you're wasting an hour. You know what I mean? So it's a lot less people, unless you just absolutely have to have a certain spot for that parade or for the fireworks. Just try to get there a few minutes early and roll with it. And that was all the questions.
Yeah.
Hopefully this has helped. I don't know, the first few years I really pushed for rides because I knew it would be super low wait times for the most part. But if I had to pick a couple rides, definitely do the Haunted Mansion because it's Halloween and see those actors out there. Do the Teacups because it won't have much of a wait and it's got a little overlay. If you can stand it, do Space Mountain and don't break your neck. And then I'd say pick a high weight, we rarely get on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train without a lightning lane just because I don't feel like it's worth waiting over 30 or 45 minutes because it's such a short little roller coaster. So if you really want to get on that, save it toward the end and do it, or even Tron, you know what I mean? If Tron's a big thing, or Big Thunder Mountain, or Tiana's, or whatever. That would be my advice. But just remember, at 12, they do that last stage show, so you can do all this stuff and run over there and see it, and then you still got an hour after the party's over to shop and hit the confectionery and all that stuff. So if any of that's big, you can wait, as long as you're going to be there that long.
Yeah.
I think somebody had mentioned something about how bad are the buses back to the resort on those nights. If you're going to wait till the end, it's not usually that bad. If you're going to leave after fireworks, it's going to be bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be stacked. But normally we walk out of there between 12:30 and 1. We may wait a few minutes, but it's not like 1,000,000 people or anything.
Yep, because everybody else is already gone pretty much after the fireworks.
I'd say the only resort that's got a benefit here are basically going to be the 3 monorail resorts, in particular the Contemporary, because you could just walk right back over there. Everything else, you're going to be on a boat or a bus or whatever. And like I said, all the resorts on Halloween night are going to have trick-or-treat stuff going on and DJs and everything else. So I remember they had the DJ at Riverside that one year. And at Riverside, they had a tree trail around the little island, and it was neat. But everyone's going to have that. So that's why, that's why
we do the Halloween at the hotel.
I'd say with kids, if you know you're not going to make it till 12, then do the first parade and plan on leaving after the fireworks and try to do your candy between that parade and fireworks because it'll be a little bit less crazy. And maybe just try to hit a few characters or rides there early on. If you know there's no way you're going to be able to stay. But my advice is, if possible, take the kid, sit down in the laugh floor, or maybe do plan to sit down and eat at a quick service place and get them some air, get them chilled out for a minute. If you can make it, then make it.
And maybe don't plan anything for the beginning of that day. Just chill out
if you're
for the next day.
I was going to say, if you're going to plan a rest day, do it the next day. That way, you're going to get back late and not
they
kill
can sleep in.
Yeah. because it is a lot of walking.
It is. And we figured that out because again, we've said it earlier, this is our first year without a stroller and our daughter's almost 9.
If you got a stroller, it really helps with like candy storage. We just put a big bag under the bottom and dump our little bags into it and carrying stuff and all that. But
It's just a pain sometimes to have to keep up with it.
yeah. But that's the basics and about everything I can talk about.
You may let her come out for a minute.
Yeah. And if y'all think of anything else, I'm going to try to continue doing these Halloween party videos at least for the next several weeks because they're just about to start. And it seems like there's a lot of people asking questions and curious how things work and all that stuff. So let us know.
And we like it. We love go to the parties, all the parties.
Yeah. And we'll also be going to all the Christmas parties. So we'll be making videos on those as well. And we've learned things about those and all that sort of thing. So Halloween's our favorite though. The Halloween decorations are great. They should be putting them up this week as we're making this.
And I've already started seeing, and people who have followed us for a while know that I am like obsessed with my Minnie Mouse ears. And I've already seen they've got new ones that are coming out that look like the wreaths with the little Mickey heads in them, and they're so cute. I may have to, although I already have some pumpkin Mickey ears that look like the little one on the screen, but I can't wait to see everything they got.
It's also fun to just people watch and see some of the costumes. Like last year, by far, a guy had on a Tron outfit that lit up neon.
I mean, it was
very neat.
It was very, he definitely put some time into that.
See a lot of pirates.
Over here.
You know, because you can dress up as a pirate and not get too hot. Yeah, just a bunch of random stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah. We keep talking about dressing up for one of them or both of them or whatever. I don't know is what yet, but
There you go. You can leave us a, what is the word I'm trying to say? Leave us
Comment.
Comment
Yep.
in the description of some things that you think that we should dress up as.
Yep.
There's the 3 of us. So what do y'all think we should do? I've ran a few of them by them. My top favorite one right now is to be Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah, I really want to be. I don't know which one has the blue shirt, but
Tell them, do you like going to the Halloween party? Is it your favorite? You don't have to growl at them. What you listen for?
cows under there.
Oh, cow.
Yeah.
what do you like? The parade, the fireworks, or the stage show better?
Parade.
Parade.
Also, my cat firework guys.
I think I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I like the parade too. Yep.
But yeah, that's the rundown. So if you got any other little tip or trick videos you want to see, we'll be happy to make them. I got a ton of footage from over the years of the party, so if I need to look something up or whatever, I can. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll see y'all next time.
Bye-bye.
And thanks for watching.